Hi, my name is David Steele. I'm at Synaptics Tech World 2025. Here we're demonstrating a couple of industrial inspection use cases. The first one is doing cable gland inspection, where we want to look at parts that are assembled correctly and parts that are assembled incorrectly, and we're displaying the output on these monitors. This is all running locally on Astra SL1680 devices that are designed for industrial inspection applications by our partner company, Grin. The second demo is a similar sort of industrial inspection demo, but in this case we're looking at pill bottles, and we're looking at the labels on the pill bottles. What we want to understand is if the label is clear, it's not damaged, and it also has the warning sticker on it. And so the intent of this is these are fairly straightforward inspection demos to get industrial guys really excited because they can understand how vision and AI can be used in their application. But the first question they always ask us is, that's great, but how do we scale this to our production environment? How do we scale it to a deployment that might have 15 lines, each of them having 50 cameras? And so what we've developed is some additional tooling that Arcturus has created, and this is called AccuSight. And it does three things. The first thing it does is it provides a live factory floor view of all of the data that's coming in from the devices. So here we can see the number of good parts versus the number of defective parts. We can see the performance of the devices. We can see each individual device, and I can drill down into those devices, even look at things like disk utilization and CPU. The second thing it provides is the management aspect of it, so the ability to manage and maintain devices in the field. We use a containerized environment, which is great because it means that we can update devices using that sort of Docker ecosystem. And so we can look directly at containers. We can see all of the logs inside the containers. We can even get a console into devices if we want to. And so that's a pretty powerful fleet management tool. And the third thing that AccuSight provides is a fix for this problem, which is, let's say that we're creating cable glands that are white for 364 days of the year, and then we have a very important customer that comes to us and says, I'd like you to create some blue cable glands. So we put those blue cable glands on our production line, and now we have a problem because our model isn't trained to detect blue glands. So what we can do with AccuSight is we can fix that by going through a whole model retraining process. And it's really simple. You don't need data science expertise to be able to do it. The first part of it allows us to ingest data into AccuSight. This comes from the devices. And I'll show you one of those devices. This is the gland demo right now. We can see these are the images that are coming from the device. They are collected into batches, and once a batch is completed, it's actually compared against the data the model was originally trained on. And if there's a divergence, we know that there's some drift. So we'd be able to identify that a blue gland is now being used. And so when that happens, what we'd want to do is move this data set from our batch into a project. And so here we have a gland detection project that we've set up already. We can move it through the workflow of annotating and curating images, ultimately resulting in a data set that we would train a model on. And you can just click the model train button to start that model training process. The result of that is a trained model, which we can then click on and deploy directly to the device, addressing whatever drift aspect that we need to do. So this is key because it gives adaptability. This allows the industrial customers to be able to control their own destiny, which is something that they really want to be able to do. And we can do this all on-prem without cloud connectivity. And that's great because it keeps data private and data sovereign. We're not exposing any private data to a multi-tenant cloud environment. So that's what we're demonstrating here today at Tech Day 2025. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out.
And do you have customers that deploy this in real production facilities?
So that's a great question. This is actually our preview of this product. We're going to be launching it in Q1 of 2026. So we're actually pretty excited to showcase this today. But what we'll be doing over the next couple of months is finishing to harden the toolkit, add some more model adaptations, and then that will hit production likely by March, I would say, for 2026.